Hello. How are you guys? I wanted to see if you were able to leave a comment because I set up the chat. Only subscribers can join the conversation, and you have to be a subscriber for a long time, like not just like subscribe right away. So I wanted to see if someone would show up. Or maybe I would realize that not everyone is subscribed to my channel, so this is like very educational for me. I'm good. It's freezing here. It's very cold, guys. But so if you notice that I'm like, of course, that I have a few I have a few pounds on. I'm not skinny, but if you notice that I'm like huge on the screen, it's because my sweater is very is very thick. Yeah, because I was like I was tired actually of these random people showing up in the chat, you know, and spamming. And having to read that is very distracting. It's not good nor for them nor for me. So you know, I prefer to stay with the people that are part of the community, that they know what the channel is about. You know, have the community post that you guys can check before entering a live and be like, oh, okay, today is Wednesday. Today we're going to do this, or on Saturday we're going to read on this. So it only takes a few seconds. So yeah, it's pretty hot. Oh, I don't know what is it with this light ring that I bought. It turns off. It's sort of like it's like, you know, it passes a few minutes passes and it shuts down itself. I don't know why. It's hot over there too. Oh wow, we are really on opposite sides of the. Hope, do you know when a new episode is going to air of the Atypical Family? Because I was able to find it and watch it online, and I only was able to get to the 6th episode. The 7th, I believe it was available, but it didn't have subtitles, so. So, but I wonder what. See, it turns off. I don't understand this thing. I swear I don't understand why it turns on and off. I don't know if it has like a timer. Saturday, hey Fluffy. And this thing that came with it, it doesn't work. But it's weird because it makes like a sound. But what episodes are they on? Like number 7 or 8? I'm loving the male lead. Like he looks like a mess, but he looks so charming. So even though he looks weird with that hairstyle, he actually looks very like there's something about him just I don't know. what is this ring light, why it does that. Because it's connected to the power, so you know it's not like it's running out of batteries or something. Oh, hey Danya, welcome. They seem to release 2 episodes at a time. Ah, okay, okay. Well, here in Latin America, we are going to. We are finally on Sunday. We're finally going to have it premiered here on Netflix. I had to look in another ways because I couldn't watch it on Netflix, and everyone were talking about it, and everyone were giving like great people that I follow were giving like great reviews. You guys were also mentioning that you were watching it, so I was like, I want to watch it. Like I want to be able to join the conversation. So I decided to look somewhere to watch it. The typical family. I believe in Mexico it's not available yet. My friend told me. It's going to premiere on Sunday on Netflix. Latam. Akira. I was telling my friend about it. We both suffer in Latam, in Netflix Latam. But we are used to it, so we find another ways, but like it sucks when there's nothing to watch on Netflix and you're paying it and you're like reviewing and I'm again like I'm going to cancel it because there's nothing interesting in it. But why me? What happened? Ah, Dania, you're from Mexico too? Bienvenida. I still can't find Exuma in the US. Oh. Ah, they're not available. Oh. I don't like it, Fluffy. The other day, like, I tried to resume it because I wanted to watch season 2. Because I kind of think that the brother of the girl, the first season girl, Daphne is it her name? The brother is very hot. He's handsome. So, and I know that he has like a love story, or he's like the protagonist on season 2. So I was like, okay, I'm going to resume season 1 so I can watch season 2 because they told me like I have to watch it because like otherwise I will not be able to understand. But you know that I couldn't continue. I couldn't continue with Bridgerton. I don't know if it's Bridgerton, right? Oh, Samara was the one that actually she said that she was on episode 4. She was the one that was like, yeah, watch it, because when I mentioned that I wanted to start watching that, she was like, I'm on episode 4, like it's great. So I was more excited even because, you know, usually Samara and I, we have the same taste sometimes in K-dramas. So I was like, okay, if she's in episode 4, it must be good. Ah, my friend just recommended me the show. I'm going to try it maybe. Yeah, Bridgerton, I tried, guys. I don't know what is it, because I usually love all those like dramas that are from, with the long history, the long dresses, I love that vibe. I love that vibe. But I don't know why. I think that there's some elements that are trying to make it a bit modern, and I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. Like, and I think that also is like Pride and Prejudice, but 2024. And I don't know. Yeah, The Brother is hot, and season 2 is the best, in my opinion. Bridgerton is kind of low-level entertainment, to be honest. Yeah, but they have a lot of fans, Fluffy. A lot of fans, because, the other day I was watching someone's review, someone that I follow, that they did the review like 3 years ago, and now, because I believe that they are on season 3, they came back with a new video. So I was like, oh, they are talking about season 3, and I didn't even finish the one. But I know what it's about. I know what it's about. Like, I know. Usually, like, all that historic scenarios are very familiar. Like, I know where it's going. It's about marriages and society, and finding a partner, because back then that was the only thing a woman could do. Unfortunately, it was like that. Like, that was the reality. Like, there was no. This is why I'm like, when they try to make it like, oh no, because this woman is different and she's going to find true love in a place where there's a lot of arranged marriages. I'm like, okay, yeah, I see that. Yeah, that actually the guy that she's in love with is the heir to something. Is not, some poor person. Like, it's not like it's a civilian, just a plain guy, working in the field, working in the country. No. It happens to be like not only the most wanted bachelor, it's also, someone that is going to be very wealthy in the future. And it's like it's like Twilight all over again. Like, the plain girl that doesn't believe that it's going to be her, she finally gets it. So yeah, I'm a bit, I don't know, guys. Maybe I'm old. I didn't think that I would get to this level or this age where I would be like, oh, this is something that I've seen before. Like, seeing the plots repeat themselves. But I must say, like, the places, the wardrobes, everything is beautiful. It's beautiful. So I understand why, even though there's some things that you're like, really? They are so attractive. Like, everything is so well done. So well done. It's totally modernized, not to be taken seriously. Yes. Yes, I enjoy it for how lighthearted it is. Like, even the problems are so non-important. Yeah. Oh, really? Apparently, there's a Dynamo rendition in the show, but I missed it. Oh, yes, I noticed that they have those violin orchestra versions. I see it in real life without the air part. Yeah, but the typical family is so cute. Like, I'm loving the like, what I'm loving is that the male lead, like the main couple, like the woman and the man, have great chemistry. I actually like it. I enjoy it. Let's see if I can change this. Now that I touch it, it's going to turn off again. I bet. See, I told you. I don't know what is it. I swear I don't understand this thing. I'm going to have to put it where it was, here. But it doesn't brighten anything. Okay. Is it a big comedic? Yeah, it does have funny parts, but it's not like that funny. It's not like, wow, it's so funny. Like, no. I mean, it tries to be, but it's entertaining. I like it. I like it. Like, have you ever watched Fluffy, like, Spy Family? Was it the name? Spy Family? Or this one that came out on Netflix that I believe was like a Japanese movie or series. It was a series, I believe, that I mentioned this series, that it was called like The Ninjas? Ninja's Family? Something like this. It's about a family that has superpowers. But I do like the chemistry between the guy and the woman. Like, I really like, there's something about them that it just feels very like they don't have that much skinship. They do have it, but not that like, oh, I'm taking my clothes off. No, but there's tension between them, and the tension is it feels very well, like, built up. Which is rare in K-dramas, to have that sexual tension, like that attraction, like that is unspoken. It's weird, but they manage to do it very well. House of Ninja, something like that. Yeah, I did love House of Ninjas. Yeah. Yeah, remember that comparison, Fluffy, because Hope told me about the House of Ninja, and I was like, oh, you're right. Because when the first episode, I was like, this reminds me of something. Especially when they are gathered together at the beach and they are talking to each other about their superpowers. I was like, and from time to time they remind me a bit of Moving. That also, Moving was great. Moving was a great K-drama. And I'm not a fan of those like superpower and those things. But a typical family, like, I found myself like watching it, like it was just easy to watch it, but entertaining. But it was easy for me to watch it. And also, because I was thinking that I have friends that I love horror and I love like thrillers, and sometimes they can be a bit too aggressive, especially Korean ones are very much into gore and someone dying, horrible families, and and I believe that this kind of K-dramas is very good. Like you say, it's very good to watch because it's light-hearted. It's very good to watch. But yeah, since on Sunday it's going to be on Netflix, it's going to premiere on Netflix, I'm going to rewatch it again on Netflix. It's going to be much more comfortable than me watching it in other places. That it's too many ads, too many like distractions when you watch it somewhere else. Now I want to watch some Stephen Chow comedy. You know that I watched the Shaolin Soccer. I watched it a few weeks ago. Hope remember we were talking about it. Oh, that's okay, Akira. You relax. You relax. I believe that now with this system, that I have this filter for the chats, so you have to be a subscriber to comment. I think, I believe, and I hope that we are going to have a bit of peace. Because the other day, guys, this last Saturday that you weren't here, like Akira was here, and also Hope, I believe Hope joined a bit. But the first half hour, it was awful, awful, because there was a lot of people entering that they were asking for personal questions, also, well, about groups that no, I was going to read for K-dramas and actors and actresses, and they were asking for something else, and it's very annoying, because it's just random people that enter. Hey, Chedam. Is it worse on Saturdays? I don't think so, but I don't know what happened last Saturday that no one was like, I think that it was like it was a moment where none of the moderators were. None of you. I know you guys were like, oh, I will not be able to join. I have to go here. I will not be able to join. I have to be somewhere else. And I was like, oh, okay, well, they will rewatch the replay later. But I don't know why not just that moderators weren't here, but also people that I usually talk to. There was no one. So I was like, oh my God, I need a familiar face. Like, it felt very weird. It felt very weird because I was like, I was trying to block certain comments with my hand, and with the other hand, I was trying to shuffle the cards. So, hey, Nina. Oh, thank you. Talking about Saturday. Thank you, Nina. I made Nina also a moderator so she could help me out because she entered and she saw me that I was struggling. So I was like, oh, please, Nina, help me. But yeah, it's chaotic, guys, without... And as for the moderator part, because like, it's distracting for me because, I can actually like just shuffle and just read the cards and that's it. But that we usually talk to each other. We ask each other, how was your day? How are you? Hello. So I didn't recognize anyone. So I was like, oh my God, it's not like my community is huge, but from time to time I do see some familiar names, or maybe some people that are new, but they're cool and they're like, oh yeah, maybe they had a recommendation. They're like, I came here because I know that today you're going to read for this, so I'm here for that. And no, these people that enter, they have no idea. No idea. Because as you know, guys, today is going to be the last day that I'm going to read. This is part 2 of how do they behave in a relationship. Next Wednesday, yeah, like Danya. Next Wednesday, we're going to start a new dynamic that is romantic as well, but it has to do with this with this reading, that how do they behave in a stable connection? Well, we're going to pull cards also with the oracles and with the archetypes to see what kind of person would they attract while being in this stable connection. What would be the traits of the person that they would attract in that stable bond? So yeah, I'm going to keep using this one, and I'm also going to add some characters of the court. I'm going to bring the queens, the knights, the pages, and the queens and the kings. So depending on the element and that they got, and maybe I can put some other card, we can sort of see, okay, what kind of person would they attract to be in a stable relationship with? Because now we are seeing how they behave, but what about the person that would be with them? What would they attract? Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. The girls in here, they came up with the idea. They were talking in here while we were like doing while I was reading, and they came up with this another perspective that is very interesting, and I think that is great, because I know that there's people, and this is why it's great to be original from time to time, because it's a way of like, okay, I don't read for future spouses nor who they're going to marry, because I don't think that marriage applies for all the idols. For us to be like, oh, will they marry? Like, when will they marry? Who will they marry? Like, you are making an assumption that they want to and that they will. And that all the idols of all the groups are going to be married. Like, do you know the kind of lifestyle that an idol has? How many married idols do you know? And I'm talking about happily married. And not even mention, let's not go with actors and actresses, because that's also another side of fame. So, so we can do this. Like, I can pull cards to see what kind of person they would attract in a stable connection, their dynamic, what they will bring to the relationship, and it's a way so you are curious about who they would date when it comes to personality traits. We can see it here, but this is not to assume nor read the future and be like, oh, he's going to marry or she's going to marry this person. No, it's a possibility. Is a trait, is an energy that they would attract. You did something like that before, only using the suits? Yeah, I think I did. I did the pick a card, but you know what inspired me actually to bring them is that I have been like reconnecting with my DOS tarot deck, and the other day I came across all the papers that I had, all the writings that I did when I did the course on DOS tarot. And you know that DOS tarot is the system of is very different, because it has like astrological elements, and also there's Hermetic, and I believe there's the Kabbalah, so there's a lot of symbology, and I love it. So I was like, okay, I'm starting to use it more often, but here in the channel I don't use it that much. So I was like, okay, I will bring the people of the court, the characters of the court. And there's something very interesting, because just like in astrology, the zodiacs have different decanates. And for example, like a December Capricorn is not the same as a January Capricorn. And a Virgo, an August Virgo is not the same as the September Virgo. So in In the TOS system, also the core cards, they are not just like, oh, this is the Queen of Wands. No, they possess another element. It's not just fire. Actually, the queens are water and the element. So if I pulled a Queen of Wands, is like a queen of water and fire. So I have to mix those two energies to talk about the Queen of Wands. For example, the Knights are the energy of the air element. And if I pull not the Knights, sorry, I have to say it depends, but it's a whole mess, but I know what I'm trying to say, because some cards in the toss, when you say knight, actually you mean the king. There are some decks that they don't have a king, they have the knight, that the knight is the king. And the one that will be the knight in the usual tarot rite will be the prince of air. The prince of air would be like, it would be like the prince of air and air. Because the prince, or what we would call in the traditional court card, that it would be a knight, the knights represent air. So if I have a Knight of Pentacles, it would be the Knight of Air and Pentacles. Air and Earth. Air and Earth. So, yeah, and the pages that actually the TOS system is called the princesses, they represent the earth, the pages. That's why you always see like the page that is always working, like you see it in the usual other way, they're always working, like they're always touching the material, and they're always like doing like an effort starting something. And they look very young. They represent the earth, and if I pulled a Princess of Pentacles, it would be like the earth of the earth. It would be like someone that has like a double, like a sun and a rising in earth. It's complex, I know. I have to sort of try to break it into the reading. I'm not going to take you through the whole experience of letting you know why, but I think that it gives me much more depth, and it helps me to connect better with, okay, if they got this core card, what is that person like? You know, it's not the same if they got a page, it's not the same if they got a knight, and it's not the same if they got a queen. Not just about hierarchy, it's not just about hierarchy, also about elements. So, yeah. I have been sort of K-pop comparing to before, but I enjoyed tarot, and I got to watch it for celebrities. Oh, thank you, Danya. For me, Capricorn is the sign that changes the most with their 2 months. Yeah, tarot does match degrees of certain signs and covers most of the, yes, like Prince of Swords and of Cup and most of Aqua. Exactly. Yes. Decembers are so different from January from any other sign. Yes. Oh yeah, the earth of such an element, the earth of this element. I completely forgot about that part. Yeah, I love the complexity of the toss. I love the complexity, and I love that, you know, when you love astrology, it gives you room. It gives you room. You know, guys, how we advanced when it comes to astrological placements, just using this oracle, the radiant sun, that I would always use here, because it's not just like a deck that is like, oh, here is the Aquarius card. Oh, it means innovation. No, it's much more. No, you have the card that it says like sun in this sign, moon in this sign, north node in this. So it expands your basic knowledge of astrology, and it gives you information. It's good. I like to do that with sign too. Like, for example, for me, Scorpio is fire of water sign. Exactly. Sagittarius is the airy fire signs. Libra is the earth air sign. Does that make sense? Yeah, it does. Ah, she's a Libra. I have a lot of Mercurial people in my channel. Like, I have a lot of air people. I know I have earth people, but I have a lot of Gemini placements, Libra placements, people. So very intelligent people, like very intelligent. And I think that actually it sort of makes sense, because sometimes I wonder, because my English is not perfect. Like, I managed to get my idea across, like, but I think that it depends on the intelligence of the person that is also paying attention. Because if you are like, oh, like, I don't like the way you talk or the way you pronounce, and I don't understand what you're saying, and I don't have like the intention to be like looking at you to be like, okay, like, what is this woman saying? I don't understand, because her accent is too strong. I don't understand the combinations of words that she uses. Like, I don't understand what she's talking about. There's people that are like, I don't understand what you're talking about. And I'm like, okay, go find another reader. But that's why I'm like, definitely I must have a lot of people that are very Mercurial in the channel. Very Mercurial, also Sagittarius energy, also all the way. Fire signs, water placements as well. Yeah, there's a lot. Do you show more your moon, Daniel? Do you come across as Sagittarius? Because Sagittarius always takes over the person, because it's so expansive. Ah, Scorpio rising. I hope not. I only have Jupiter in the first house in Capricorn, but I've been told I look like a Sagittarius. And when I was younger and very reckless with the way I would express myself, I would be very blunt, and they would be like, you are a Sagittarius, right? And I would be like, no, I'm a Capricorn. I would always mess up with it. But I've always been honest, always. Like, accordingly to my perception, I was being honest, maybe too honest, but yeah, my intention is not to harm anyone. But yeah, when I was younger, I would open my mouth and I wouldn't think about what I would say. I just would express my opinion just like this. Yeah, definitely. The other day, Hope, I was watching, because I follow an astrologer, and they sometimes make different TikToks, and they made a TikTok about Jupiter in the first house. And usually when you have Jupiter in the first house, it talks about expansion, but it talks about weight gain. About you actually getting expansive when it comes to your body shape. And definitely I would agree. I would agree, because I'm a skinny person, actually, guys. Like, I'm a double Capricorn. There's not, like, all the Capricorns tend to be skinny, even a bit bony, like a skeleton looking, and I've always been super skinny, super skinny. But because of, thyroid, when I turned 28, I got thyroid. But when I was younger, I got lupus, and because of the medication of lupus, I also gained a bit of weight, but not so much in my body, more like in my face. But because of thyroid, I noticed like I did gain weight. And I was thinking, I was like, wow, what is a huge influence and a strength Jupiter has on the first house, that is the house of the self, is the appearance, it's yourself, that it affects the way you look. Because to make a double Capricorn being like chubbier, like a bit chubby looking, like rounded looking, is a whole accomplishment. Actually, I remember when I was very young, people would ask me like if I eat, because I was so skinny that I wouldn't gain weight. Never. But well, life happens. So I was reflecting about, this Jupiter in the first house is making me expand, definitely. Against my will, but it is. My Saturn is in Scorpio, 11th house of Scorpio. With all your Saturn, it probably lessens the passion of Jupiter. I think not, Fluffy, because it's conjunction my Sun. It's like this with the Sun. So it's definitely a Sagittarius rising. Even though all of that is in there is Capricorn, but like to make a Capricorn person like heavier, like looking when it comes to weight, because also if we think about thyroids, like probably people that watches me now, or they see me and they're like, oh yeah, she has a few extra pounds, but it's not like I'm obese. But you have to understand that from my initial weight, that I don't have children, my initial weight to what I look right now, it is obesity. Like it's a huge difference. That's why maybe people, when they look at me, they're like, oh, but actually I love to have curves. I never had them. I was always very skinny. So I enjoy having curves. But when I think about like, wow, like if you were able to make a really skinny Capricorn to get this weight, this amount of expansion, definitely my stretch marks are the testimony that I have expansion on my body, on my skin. Yeah. Then Saturn is in Scorpio, will affect your appearance as well. It's a chart ruler. My mom is like that, but she's not now. And she blames her pregnancy. Yeah, in my case, like I don't have children, so sometimes I look at, for example, my cousins that they have children, and they. But the thing about me also is very interesting, because I think that is because of the work that I do now. That since I work at an office and I'm not as active as I was before, of always like going up and down stairs, always going somewhere, always like standing on my feet, always like here and there. I think that that's where I am able to lose weight pretty easily. But because now I have a very sedentary and like kind of lifestyle, that's what is making it obvious, you know. It's the same with me, especially since I came to New Mexico. Yeah, because actually, like, this is what I reflect, you know, because I believe I'm the typical Capricorn in that sense. I don't like food that much. And actually, this also relates a lot with my moon in Scorpio. When it comes to food and receiving aliments or receiving like nutrients or different kinds of food, or I'm not that crazy about food, actually. Actually, I could be very routinary with food. I could actually eat the same plain food all my life if it's the kind of meal that I like. I could eat that all my life. Especially when I'm busy, like I just don't think. You know that there's people that actually they think about food, and they're like, oh, I have cravings. I want to eat this. Like I want this dessert. I don't like desserts. I don't like sweet things actually. Like I eat them when I'm with people because they ask for it, and I'm like, I already ate. I don't have place for sweet things. You know, so this is why I'm like, you know, sometimes if people are like, oh, like you change, like especially people that notice my weight change ever since the pandemic, they are like, wow, like what happened? Like, and I can be honest and be like, you know, it's not food. It's not that I'm eating a lot or I just have a lot of free time and I eat a lot of things. No, not at all. I drink water. Well, I have mate. That mate is diuretic. I'm also an ENTP. People say Libra ENTP is so rare, but actually I know another one. Oh, you don't like food much? You can relate? Yeah, I don't. I eat food because I know it's part of what I have to do, but it's not something that I'm thinking about. You know that there's people that they really enjoy food. Like I enjoy food, like especially if I'm with other people and I'm like, oh wow, thank you. But if you're like, you know, Vanessa, from now on, we're going to give you this container, and in here is going to be the food that you're going to eat like all day. You know, like a sort of bento, like this. And I will be like, okay. And if I'm busy, I often forget about eating. But I do get thirsty. I do have to drink a lot of water. Yes. I eat to live. I know it's essential part of my life because I have to eat, but it's not something that I'm like, wow, I cannot wait. You know that there's people that they get, they go to restaurants or they grab like the menu and they're like, oh my God, what I'm going to, I usually always order the same. Like I'm that plain, like, so yeah. But usually, like, and this is something that probably I could be like when I'm about to have dinner, I probably, if I maybe like hungry, I'm like, I cannot wait to eat this. But then when I'm like eating it, I actually cannot finish the whole plate. So again, I don't know if it's like a Saturnian restriction in me. Or the moon in Capricorn, the moon in Scorpio also, because I do notice, and I think that this also makes me relate a bit more to my bias to NCT Utah. because I know Utah is, I know for his job and for all the idols, definitely they take care a lot of themselves. Probably they go on crazy diets. We know it. They sometimes talk about it. But one thing that I do notice when Utah is in the is like seated like around a table, and everyone is eating, and he's like, he just takes his time to eat, and he just doesn't look crazy over the food. Maybe he could be a bit enthusiastic about having a drink, like me, like having like liquids, not so much like. It's like for me, I can grab something and be like, oh, I like this, a piece of bread, and I would be like, sort of eating it like uh, like a squirrel, with like all like in every like all the hours with the same piece of bread. Um, but it's not that I'm like, oh my God, look at this menu, and I'm going to grab here and then here, and I'm going to grab over there, and if I have to go to these places of all you can eat, it's a huge waste of time and money for my part, because I usually I cannot serve myself twice, like. And also there's something that I think that is, the other day they were talking about, it's not the other day, it's an old interview, not interview, no, it was the show with JJ, the show with JJ, that NCT 127 went to JJ, and they were talking about Utah, and I believe that they mentioned, like, I believe Doyeon said something about that Utah doesn't burp and he doesn't fart, like like I usually, he said something like he never saw like Utah not even sneeze. He is dead silent, and you know that I used to be like that as well. Actually, like, it would drive like my partners or my boyfriends, it would drive them crazy, because they would be like, are you human? Like, because they would be really interested, like, don't you burp like people, like people? I'm like, maybe I do, but I'm silent. You're not going to see me express it out loud. I'm very silent about those natural things of the body, of course, but I don't know why I repress them. I repress them, or I just, like, I wait until I'm alone. I don't know, but living with other people, they are like, are you human? Why, like, like, um, no, I remember that I was dating this guy that he was so interested, like, he wanted to know when I was having my periods, because it's like he never found evidence in the bathroom. I don't know, this sounds weird, but I don't know, I don't know, maybe he actually is gross, actually, but he, I don't know, maybe he wanted to see some blood. I don't know, he wanted to see something. He's like, don't you have periods? Yes, I do have them. Oh, but I cannot see anything. Like, why would you? It's something personal. But we are living together. We are sharing the same bathroom, and how come I never seen anything? Like, I don't know. He wanted to know that about me, how that was like. I don't know. Yeah, he wanted to be that intimate, and I was like, you will never see that side of me, because no. Oh, but I love you and I want to see that side of you, and I'm like, no, not with me. It's like, no. My bias is a Scorpio, and she loves her food so much. I like eating, but I'm not a foodie. Like, I don't get people being excited about food and taking pictures of it at all. Interesting. I'm going to study Utah's chart to see where it would come from. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I think that it has to do with restriction, with us, because I noticed that about myself. Like, no one ever taught me or restricted me to be like that. No one said like, "Oh, Vanessa, you have to be like, or ladylike, or you have to be like, you shouldn't burp or you shouldn't fart, you shouldn't like." But I just wouldn't do it, or I would do it silently, no one would notice. But it's not like, and I know that because I live with people, like people are very casual about it because it's a part of the human body. But for me, it's like, no, no. I and I guess that's why then I had some issues with my intestines. Because maybe it has to do with repression. The things that you don't release is very Scorpio moon. Very Scorpio moon. Yeah. It's because Lino has moon in Sagittarius, so he is so like open. He's so open, like to Momo farts. Yeah, I know. My mom was a Scorpio. She used to fart and blame the cat. she would fart and she would blame the cat. She would be like, "Oh, that cat just farted." We had an old cat, and she would always blame the cat that the cat would fart. And actually, no, it was her. Mm. Yeah, I like that they do in the barbecues because I love the small dishes that they have. Because usually here in my country, we eat a lot of meat. So there's a lot of salads. It's like the whole plate is full for one person. But I think that if I was going to join a Korean barbecue, it would be like less pressure on me to finish it because I would be able to share it with someone. And I would be like, I wouldn't waste food as well. Because if I don't finish it, someone else will. So it's a win-win situation. I thought I was a Virgo for years, but there's another story. Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you who I have on the list. For today, I have Shiny Onew, NCT Mark, 17 Vernon, Jeonghan, and DK, actor Lee Hae-hoon of Taxi Driver, I believe he was, Ateez Wooyoung, and Ateez Hongjoong. If I did one of these members, please let me know, but I think that I didn't do them yet in this series of how do they behave in relationships. But then I have twice Nayeon, TXT Soobin and Jeonghan, Jennie, and Monsta X I.M. I'm going to start because I have a lot of people. Finally, I can do Onew now that he's finally back. I can resume the readings on him. Okay. Shiny Onew. How he would behave in relationship. a stable one. Okay. Okay, for Onew we start with natural child, gambler, and judge. So yeah, a mix of playful but also a bit righteous, I would say. And he got from the Oracle of the I Ching of Love, he got the card of Witness, which is very interesting that he got the card of Witness and he also got the card of Judge. So I don't know why it sounds like like a courtroom, something like that. Okay, Witness. It says, if you are in a state of upheaval, if love is upsetting you with its upheaval, find in yourself a space of calmness in which to hang out. What is upheaval, guys? Because I don't remember that word right now. Is it when you are upset? Upheaval? I'll read it again. If you are in a state of upheaval, if love is upsetting you with its upheaval, find in yourself a space of calmness in which to hang out. But yeah, with natural child, we know that this usually the Scorpio people or people that have fire placements. We've seen it, like natural child. It's a crisis stage. Okay, big change. Disruptions, turmoil. Okay, thank you. Definitely for him to be in a relationship, in a stable relationship, he needs to be connected with children, with nature, with plants, with animals. You know, he definitely, we know that he changed his whole lifestyle. And you know, this is probably a great place for him to also have this in his personal life, in a stable connection, to be able to nourish and sort of give room to this natural child, you know, to also get out of, you know, the spotlight and where everything is a bit fake, and you know, there's a lot of facades. So for him to be in a relationship, he would have his inner child, and it would be very natural, and it would he would love natural environments, like being surrounded by nature, loving animals very much. You know, there's something about him also trying to keep everything natural and not just very organic, and probably, you know, using you know, things that has to do with that are cruelty free, you know, a lot of things that probably has to do with living a lifestyle with his partner, you know, a very natural. I think that in this case for Onew, since we know that he, you know, had been practicing yoga and all of this, for him, I believe that this is like very important, you know, to have nature in his life, to keep things simple and be connected with what's natural. Not too many, like, you know, like things in the middle. With gambler, yeah, we have that it says willpower to follow your intuition even when others doubt of you. So yeah, with gambler, I think that definitely, you know, if you notice, like the person, yeah, is walking blindfolded. So this sort of, the gambler is a bit like the fool, the card of the fool. That is someone that is taking a leap of faith, is someone that is taking the risk, even when others probably don't think that he will make it. And maybe in a relationship, in a stable relationship, he could make certain decisions with his partner, maybe changing his whole lifestyle, you know, to keep introducing change and variety in himself and in his partner, and maybe where he lives, how he lives, what is surrounding him. So he will continue to be risky. I think that there's something about Onew just, wanting to take this leap of faith, and just being unexpected also in relationships. I think that, people could be a bit surprised about certain decisions that he does. There's something about other people doubting him. So probably when it comes to a relationship, maybe there could be people that don't approve of his relationship or the way he lives the relationship. But I think that there's something that is he's a believer. He is a free soul. He's natural. So he's like, okay, maybe you don't share my beliefs, maybe you don't believe what I believe in, but in my connection, I bring this need to take the risk. I take the risk to choose this person for me, or to live with my partner in this environment that is very different from the Onew that you probably know. So it's all about, having faith in himself. And maybe there's people that also doubt the potential that he has as a partner. Maybe people are like, really? You in a relationship, in a stable relationship? And him actually being like, yeah. Like, I don't know, maybe in the past he maybe had relationships and they didn't work, but he's still sort of betting for love. He's still choosing love. And he is still like, sort of gambling and risking himself to be in a connection again. So yeah, even when people are like, maybe you are not the relationship type, and him just dying to prove them all wrong. Because he loves that. He loves to go against the flow and show people that, that the old version of him, that he's always changing. Like we all people change. So it's like, embrace the new me. I can have a stable relationship if I want. And the judge, it says, it balances justice with compassion. It gets a fair distribution of power. So see, he also is someone that in the connection, he makes sure that his partner gets the right treatment. I think that there's something about him also, I don't know if this has to do with past experiences of him, but him being like, from now on, I focus on the right distribution. He probably in the past, he was a bit irresponsible in connections, or maybe he just didn't put that much effort. So now he judges, now he observes in the connection. He's like, okay, how am I doing in this connection? What am I giving? What am I receiving? This has to be fair. I have to be fair with my partner. I have to be like connected with what is needed of me in the connection. And at the same time of also receiving what I deserve. This also has to do with give and take. Okay, my partner has been nice to me, I will give them this. I will give them my time. I will give them a present. So this is why with the judgment, not the judgment, I don't know, with the judge card, I think that he also judges himself very harshly. Like he's like, I have to do better. I have to do better. Because now I know things about myself that I didn't back then. Now I have the information. Now I'm a different person. So yeah, it's very serious for him. It's very serious. And with the card of witness, that if you notice this person, how everything is moving, and is pretty chaotic. How it's moving around him. Everything is moving. Like some people talk about, something that is disrupting, or there's a turmoil. Do you see like the figure in the middle, and there's an eye. There's an eye in the middle. This is why the keyword is witness. Whatever happens in your connection, in your stable connection, witness it. Be an observer. Don't judge it. Just observe it. And don't react right away. Observe it. If it's something that is repeating itself, if it's a pattern, if it's like the same, if he, for example, he's attracting the same kind of people, or he gets into a relationship with the same kind of person, you know, that's also information. So the card is like, do not run away from what is happening in front of you. Witness it. Observe it. And don't judge it. So yeah, very wise. Very wise. Maybe he needs a relationship that is not traditional, with more freedom. Yeah, but he's taking accountability. I see that he's very serious about it. Like, he's very serious about it. Maybe in the past he was a bit like not paying attention. He was not that involved. Or maybe, you know, he didn't have the time. Maybe now he's seeing life with other eyes. Like, his whole life is changing. The way he's moving himself as well is changing. So yeah, he's a new man. We are not safe even with the subscribers. Okay, I'm going to continue with NCT Mark. He got the gambler as well, Mark. Okay, for Mark Lee, we have gambler, the stealer, the stealer. Alexa, play the voice stealer. And gossip. And from the Oracle of the I Ching, we have the card of impotence. We've seen this card. This card, I believe Baekhyun, EXO Baekhyun got it, impotence. So maybe Mark also is not new to the feeling of being in a relationship, or just feeling stable in a connection and somehow facing some impotence. Oh my God. Impotence. Like this book, like the pages are all falling. So okay, it says, you are overwhelmed by events. You cannot do anything to help the situation evolve, nor can you cause any change. Accept this impotence. This too is love. I'm going to read it again. You are overwhelmed by events. You cannot do anything to help the situation evolve, nor can you cause any change. Accept this impotence. This too is love. So I don't know why when reading this, because I pulled this card for Baekhyun, and for Baekhyun I got another vibe that the impotence came from another place, you know, a place of him not even maybe being able to defend his loved ones, and just the fame and exposure and everything. But I think that for Mark it's different. For Mark, the impotence comes from a place of the self. You know, if we think about Mark, Mark is a Leo, so it's all about the self. So when I got this card, I'm like, he could feel a bit of impotence, when he's in a stable connection, because somehow he is still in a process of where he's still focused on himself. So there's this impotence of like, there's nothing I can do. This is me. I am like this in connections. It's not about him being selfish, but I think that it has to do with identity. If we think about an idol dating or an idol trying to sustain a stable connection, some of them may not be able to do so, even if they wanted to. And even if they tried, maybe their attempts to try to have a normal, stable relationship can come wrong, can actually turn out to be a disaster. Maybe them trying to give time, to give presence, to be nice, to be loyal, you know, to do all the small details that you do when you are in a relationship with someone, but add to this that he is a very busy idol. So I think that the impotence of this card for Mark is like, I can try, but this is me. I do what I can. I cannot give you more. This is my life. It's like, yeah, you know, I'm trying, but this is my life. Yeah, the gambler, do you see, is the will, again, like I said, the willpower to follow your intuition even when others doubt you. So yeah, the gambler definitely, it shows that, you know, also for Mark to enter a connection, this stable connection, it would also be like a leap of faith. He would also look a bit like he wouldn't know exactly what he's doing, but he's trying. He's a bit blinded, he's a bit confused, he's a bit overwhelmed. You know, he's like, okay, how do I do this? How do we make this work? You know, because for him, he is a person that he's used to winning, or he's used to having the best performance. He's very like, he's very strict with himself. So everything that is related to him, it has to be not perfect, but it has to do well. So once he enters a stable relationship, he sort of enters like you know, like the gambler. He's like, you know, I'm sort of betting my life, my career. I'm like this. I'm like trying to satisfy you, my partner, satisfy my fans, satisfy my family, satisfy the companies, satisfy the haters. Like, he's like trying. He's like trying to be the best of the best for each single role that he has to play. And it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be pretty. Also, again, the thief or the stealer, like we call it here, the stealer, you know, it says, illuminate the potential of wealth so no one can take this away from you anymore. So see, the stealer is also like, I have to keep my heart hidden, like, you know, people cannot know that I have a relationship, or that I have like I am so passionate for this person, just like I am passionate about my career. They cannot know that. And even if they sort of have some clues that I may be in a relationship, I have to hide it. I can sort of give it away, they can guess, but I can never give them the certainty that, yeah, I'm in a relationship, guys, I'm confirmed, I'm taken, sorry, guys, buy my album. No, he cannot be that honest. This is why the stealer is like, yeah, you can see my heart, but you cannot don't look too close because you cannot see what's inside my heart. So this relationship that is important for me, I sort of have to lie and cover it a bit, so I don't disappoint people, and also some people don't take this away from me. This is my happy moment. So I sort of have to lie to my special person. My special person has to lie. Everyone has to lie and cover for me. And yeah, everyone is happy like this. But yeah, and with the gossip, it says awakens the consideration for the feelings of others, respect, trust. Gossip. So again, like, also Jeno got this card of the gossip, and I said that he would love to talk to his partner. He would love to gossip with his partner. And I think that I could see Mark also wanting to keep an open communication with his partner and tell them everything. You know, tell them everything about how he feels, about his career. I don't know why with this gossip card, I think that it also has to do about him maybe being too honest with his partner and being like, yeah, like, you know, I have this proposition from this person. I don't know, this person sent me a gift. This person wants me to do this project with them, and it's someone from the opposite sex, and maybe, you know, him being too honest, like sharing a lot, and maybe his partner feeling a bit like, you know, a bit jealous. You know, it's like, oh, you're working with this person, everyone is seeing you, that you're working and hanging out with this person, but I cannot be seen with you. So do you know, this is why when I had the card of impotence, it seems like he would get in trouble with his partner, or his partner would call him out on things that he cannot help because it's part of his life. He has to flirt with the fans, he has to be sexy on stage, he has to look his best on stage, he has to probably, like, you know, maybe being a bit sexy or provocative in an MV, or just, you know, chatting with someone, or just like, you know, meeting someone from the opposite sex that can be also very popular and beautiful and pretty, you know. And I could feel a lot of, like, this person demanding a lot of things from Mark. Like, it's sort of like, I feel like it's very, in his mind, he's like, and he's silence. In his mind, it's like, you know, him always being like, oh, you didn't do this for me. Oh, you're doing this with these people, and what about me? You left me. Like, you didn't pay attention to me, but now you're going to have this with these people. Now you're going to your job, and you're going to travel overseas, and you're going to leave me. So, so I sort of see, like, also, probably, you know, Mark feeling very pressured in this stable connection. Feeling like, I'm never good enough. Like, you always have to reprehend me on something. You always have to point out something that I didn't do right. And I sort of want to escape this. I don't know how. Because he's very loyal, but there's something about him like everything I do is wrong. Like, you know, there's this, like, you know, when you have that kind of partner that is always like nagging, and you're like, stop it. Maybe the impotence card is for SM members only, or former SM members. The whole idol, no relationships being so unhealthy. This job is just not for the best for having a stable relationship. That's just a sad reality. Okay, I'm going to continue with 17 members. I'm going to start with Vernon. Vernon in a stable relationship. Yeah, maybe later in life, but at the peak of their career, it seems too difficult. And also, it also has, this is why it's going to be very interesting when we pull cards for the kind of person that they would attract to be in this stable relationship. Because the kind of impotence, it also can mean that he feels pressure from the other side. You know, that probably he attracts someone that is very demanding, someone that at first agrees to be in this connection with him, and then they sort of complain about what he doesn't give or what he doesn't do for the connection. So yeah, so it also depends on what kind of people he attracts, you know. There's people like that. There's people like that they always make you feel like you're not good enough, like, oh, they always want to guilt trip you, like, oh, you know, you promised it this and you're not giving it to me. Yeah, you can have all those as well. Okay. For 17 Vernon, we have a lot. This is like a very Aquarius archetypes that he got. We start with the Visionary for Vernon, and Liberator, and Don Juan, or Player, and this is Superficiality for Vernon. Superficiality. Superficiality. Okay, it says, let's not delude ourselves. Okay, this this oracle is already calling him a delulu. It's like, do not delulu yourself. One loves for a variety of reasons, and all lead to a stagnation. The I Ching advises you to withdraw into yourself, into your secret intimacy, to give depth to love. Oh, wow. The oracle is calling him out, definitely. He's calling him out. He's like, be more deep. Give more deepness to this connection. I'm going to read it again. Let's not delude ourselves. One loves for a variety of reasons, and all lead to a stagnation. The I Ching advises you to withdraw into yourself, into your secret intimacy, to give depth to love. So, yeah, actually, like, if you see this person is all dressed up, do you see? And I think that if you ask Vernon to withdraw into himself, he will definitely like just quit the connection and just withdraw into himself and become a hermit. Because, you know, his moon in Scorpio is very heavy in there. So it's like, okay, I have to break up this. Okay, I'm going to, okay, let's break up. I have to focus on me and just like go within the depths of myself to get to know myself. And it's like, see ya. I didn't want to be in this connection ever. Yeah, I think that, yeah, the card is calling him out because if you see the keyword of superficiality, I think that it's like, you know, you have the potential to have a very deep bond, a very deep and very emotional and authentic connection, in a stable connection. You have the potential to also give someone this very deep experience in love. But somehow you are playing safe. Maybe initially a stable connection that he enters in is more about like, this is very Aquarius of him. Probably, he dates a friend or an acquaintance or just someone that he likes, and it's not like they go that deep into their feelings and it's like, okay, it's like the cards are calling him out and it's like, you are not that superficial. What are you doing in this connection? If it's not to sort of have a purpose, when you are in a connection with someone, is to sort of build something with that person, or maybe you and that person can grow together in certain aspects. I don't know, have something in common. But it's like, don't do it for the superficiality. Don't do it because it feels nice and, oh, I like this person, let's date. It's like you can do better than that. Yeah, because the visionary, see, again, here is very Aquarius, like a capacity to visualize what is not conceivable for others, willpower to proclaim a vision without having in consideration personal benefits. So yeah, it's about being selfless, being a visionary, being original. Liberator also, it's like freedom for you and others from limited beliefs. Also the elimination of negative patterns of thought or thinking, or negative thinking, elimination of negative thinking. So it's like all like yeah, let's be in this connection and let's just get away from reality, or let's not think about the ugly part of life, or the part of life that is very negative. It's like, let's be together so we can just be goofy together and have fun and just being around each other, But yeah, he also, with the player, I think that definitely the good thing is that in a stable connection with the player, I think that Vernon has the possibility to be a great seducer. Like he knows how to charm his person. This is why I think that probably since the oracle is calling him out, it somehow is also letting him know that, yeah, you are so free, you are such a visionary, you are such a liberator. But yeah, when things don't have a stability, when you don't know where you're going with this connection, you start seducing or using your power of seduction to sort of, seduce the person you're with so they don't leave. But you are not offering something, you are not offering them something of substance in this connection. It's like you are not opening up, you are not connecting with your emotions, they are not connecting with your emotions. Like, yeah, you sort of share a few mindsets, you probably talk about things, life, opinions, what is going on in the internet, very fun stuff, but a couple or a stable relationship is much more than let's play video games together. And I think that when he sees that probably his partner wants to leave because they sort of start to get a bit bored, he plays the player. He takes the archetype of the player. It's like, come here. I know you want me because I'm beautiful and I'm sexy. Also, he loves to feel desired. It's like he's very seducting. He's very, and when he is with his person, he probably maybe uses a bit of sex or just being sensual to attract his partner. To be like, I'm sort of great at this. You should stay with me. He going to seduce his partner singing "I Need You Girl" but in Hypen version. Yeah, actually, he is a good guy. He's a really good guy because if you see, he is a visionary. So probably, when we think about a stable relationship, he enters this relationship with his version. His version is not to emulate a certain traditional relationship. So maybe, with the visionary and with the liberator, what Vernon wants to do is somehow to break some old patterns of what he saw as stable relationships. Maybe he saw, I don't know, people around him having stable relationships that he found that those relationships either were fake or boring, or they just weren't that positive. So he's like, in my relationship, I'm going to liberate us. My relationship is not going to be like that. It's not going to be that traditional, or it's not going to be that heavy on jealousy, or it's all about freedom. It's like, yeah, we are together, but at the same time we can become something else. We can be different together. We can have fun together. I think that he's not like entering the stable relationship and be like, oh, I'm going to marry this person. No, he's more like sort of reviewing also what is it like for him to be in a relationship. And definitely from what I see here, he doesn't want to be like feeling stuck in a connection. He doesn't want to feel like he's in prison. I think that he enjoys being with one person. He's not a cheater. It's just that the card is like, you're making this too superficial. You have the potential to give depth to this connection. Value your partner a bit more. Like, introduce more romance, more feelings. Where are your feelings? And why aren't you expressing your feelings if you do have them? So, yeah, Vernon, if you're watching, this is what the oracle says for you. Oh, okay. I dropped the mate. Is this a sign that Vernon is watching us? Let's tag him. Yeah. No, it's just that I think that it's about you learning about yourself as you enter and as you experience relationships. When you enter a relationship, that's when you really like get into, especially for men. Sometimes, like, I'm not trying to be feminist in here, but sometimes there's people that they enter a relationship and they're like, oh, okay, so we're dating. Yeah, it's great. I'll just be me. Yeah, you can be you. We appreciate that you are you in this connection. But being in a relationship, it has different dynamics, and there has to be a reason, a purpose. There has to be like, something. Also, relationships have their own identity, their own rhythms. The relationship is actually a reflection of you and the other person. So how the relationship develops itself, it talks about you. Because we are so different. When we are in a connection, we are not the same person. We don't behave the same. We are not the same as we are not the same person that we are with our friends or with our families. With our partner, we're different. And some of us, or some people, it depends on the other part as well, but some of us can be lazy in relationships and take things for granted and be like, oh, yeah, I'm in a relationship. Yeah, this is cool. when and this is me again sharing a personal story, but I think that it applies. When I began dating like my first boyfriend, real boyfriend, like not real, I mean a stable relationship. He was a few years older than me, not that old, but he was a bit older than me. And I remember that we started dating, and yeah, he lived in a city very far away from mine, but he would always take the train, the bus, and he would come into my house to see me, and just sometimes he would stay during the weekends, or he would just come an afternoon, a couple days during the week or on the weekend, depending on his work schedules. So yeah, I would wait for him at my house. Sometimes we would go to the movies, but all around my area. And we were like this for like 6-7 months, and I was just comfortable. And then we like I believe he was like, he told me that his best friend wanted to meet me. He wanted like a sort of double date. He was dating someone else, and he wanted to meet, him and his partner, they wanted to meet me. So they are like, they want to meet you. So yeah, we have to go to, they also lived in another town very far away from mine. And I don't know if it was his birthday or what. And I was like so naive, and I was like, but why don't you go yourself if it's your friend, not mine? And I swear that my then boyfriend, he got so upset with me. He got so upset that he took that opportunity. He was like, we had been dating for almost a year, and you never went to my house. Like, it's always me, the one that moves, the one that takes like 2 buses and a train to come and see you. And you never do this for me. And that's when me, being very young and inexperienced, I was like, so I have to go and visit him as well. So do you understand? That's when I sort of understood the part that when you are in a relationship, you have to compromise. It's not always like, take. You will come and see me, you will come and meet me, and I will be here comfortable in my house. So yeah, that's the the story of today. Yes. Okay, I'm going to continue with Jeonghan. 17 Jeonghan. Vernon must have very strong energy because he made me drop my mate. It's all on the ground. Okay. For 17 Jeonghan, we have Seeker, Hermit, and Knight. And then from the Oracle, the card of Wind. Yeah, adaptability. Adaptability to the fullest. Wind. The Oracle invites you to look at existence. Everything that happens to you, everything directly. As simple, naked, and raw facts. Without putting labels, without saying right or wrong, good or bad. It leaves aside the mind and its eternal judgment. So it's like, be flexible, be open-minded, don't be judgmental in the connection. So pretty like he doesn't have many patience in the connection. I don't know why I feel like maybe it has to do with the kind of person he attracts, but it's very interesting. It's very interesting. Was it Kai who got sicker too, or Lino? I believe Lino got sicker. Maybe Kai as well, but I don't remember Kai's reading. But Lino's, I remember he got the seeker card. Yeah, it's first for knowledge and truth there when it's found. The hermit, do you see the hermit? Like, I'm like, seeks loneliness to focus intensely in their inner world. This serves for personal creativity, the hermit. And knight. So this is the most Libra card out of all of them. Him always been a gentleman, romantic, loyal, and he has a lot of honor. So definitely also a defensor, a gentleman in this connection. But it's very interesting with the oracle of wind, because I think that somehow, I don't know why, this card sort of lets me, it's like, it gives me this vibe of don't lose patience, remaining there, like breathe, don't lose patience. Somehow like the poor small tree that is in there that is like, well, I think that there's something about him. I don't know if he's the kind of person that he could be a bit like exaggerated from time to time and sort of threatening to leave the connection and being like, we better take a break. And him feeling like this a lot of moments, like feeling like, I don't want to be here, like I'm about to lose patience. Because the seeker, the hermit, it's like that energy of like, yeah, I love it here, I love this relationship, but at the same time, I want to be alone. So he is like a very complex person. First of all, because he definitely, with the seeker, he's looking for wisdom, I think that he's very wise, because with the hermit, I think that he sort of lets me know that he acknowledges that probably he is a bit moody in connections, in a stable one. That is like, he can be a bit moody, or he can be asked to be left alone. It's like, I'm not in the mood, leave me alone. Or I need some time for myself, like I want to move out, or I want to travel somewhere, and yeah, I need to get away. I need me time, I need alone time, so yeah, see ya. And this is, I think that is philosophical. This is not about him leaving to go and be with someone else. This is about him, probably there's a part of him that he is a bit grumpy in connections. I don't know if he has this sort of very, I get the word moody a lot, but I think that it can be expressed different ways. But probably he can be a bit grumpy, like an old person, the person that just gets upset at anything, and it's like, you are mad again, like what is going on with you? Probably maybe also like stability and routine also gets him very uncomfortable. It's like he wants to travel a lot. I think that the seeker is like that part of him that he's like, I want to get out of this place. Like probably, if this is a stable connection, be like, okay, I have to get out of this apartment that I'm sharing with you because I feel like I cannot breathe. I feel anxious. I need to get out. I need to see other people. And not romantically see other people, but for him it's like, he feels this uncomfortable feeling of a bit of anxiety, I would say, which is a bit weird because we have the Knight. So I think that definitely he loves to be in a relationship. He's very loyal, he's very romantic. he keeps his word. So I think that if he says yes to a connection, is because he definitely knows that he will have to be there for his partner. But at the same time, he sort of resents his partnership. It's like, I want to be alone. Like literally, leave me alone. I want to be a hermit. I don't want to see you. Like leave me alone. But also it's very complex because the night probably doesn't allow him to fully express how uncomfortable he feels sometimes, because the night is this very charming, loving and romantic and full of romantic gestures person that he will not let himself, be that unpleasant or that mean. It's like at the end, if he looks like he wants to be alone, or he looks like his mind is somewhere else, at the end he's going to do something to help you guys reconnect. So he is a contradiction, definitely. There's a part of him that he loves to be in a connection. I think that he also sees that he has the potential to protect the connection. It's like, I love to be a good partner. He's very loyal. I don't think that he's like, you're like, okay, maybe he wants to see other people. No, he just wants his me time. He probably doesn't want to do all the time couple things. But I think that probably is about his character. I think that why do I feel like he has like a hermit character? Like he has the temper of an old person. Like he gets annoyed for the smallest things that you're like, really? You got annoyed? You got angry at me because I left this here? And he's like, yes. And then he goes. It's like, but definitely with the seeker, that I always say that when the first card is the seeker, it's because he's sort of looking also inside himself, and in this connection, he's looking for answers. There must be a reason why he is like this, because he's not getting away. The wind. Do you see this? Do you see this wind? He's not. It's not like he's going to leave the connection. No, he's going to stay in there. But, there's always going to be something that you're going to see him moving from here, moving from one mood to another mood, to another mood, to another mood. So, yeah, his partner has to be very patient. Very patient. If Kai got Seeker, he's another Aquarius moon like Jeonghan. And Hyunjae got Wind too. Possibly an Aquarius moon too, like Jeonghan. Oh, I didn't know he was an Aquarius moon. Okay. Yeah, there's a pattern, definitely. He better be with someone who can get a hint. Yeah, who can sort of give him room when he's moody, let him be. And then he will come back being all lovey-dovey. So, yeah, someone that doesn't get offended that easily, or, It sounds like him, honestly. Aside for his Scorpio Mars, Jeonghan is all air. Yeah, it does sound like that. Like, it's like, are you okay? Like, I don't understand. Why are you so upset? Okay. I'm going to continue with DK. Okay. Let's go, DK. Another visionary. Is he an Aquarius? Another visionary. You people. Ah. He got the card that the other day Lisa got, remember? Touching one another. But in this case, I think that is him. He is the guy and this is the girl. He's sweet. He's a sweet guy. A bit weird, like unexpected in his behavior, but he's sweet. Ah, DK is mega Aquarius with the Cancer moon. Oh, wow, yes, a lot of air. Okay, he got Midas, Visionary, and Chameleon. So he's a surprise. He can adapt. But he's going to be a weird partner. Like, this is something about DK, that DK is not going to change his nature. He's always going to be different, you know. He's always going to be a bit goofy, a bit different, very just happy to be him and always looking for some new adventures. So yeah, you have to keep up with him because he has a lot of energy. Yeah, and from the Oracle, touching one another, that I'm going to read, it says, apparently the Oracle is in favor. For a moment, you find yourself living in a dimension free from any apprehension. You flow in spite of yourself. However, the Oracle also warns, since all this is caused by something external to you, inevitably depends on that catalyst, so it is unstable. Yeah, I think that this is also it says that, you know, in his stable connection, he has the potential to, I believe he is a guy that he would love to be in a stable connection, like, even though he has this very weird routines, I would say, like it sounds like he is so independent, but I think that he needs someone. He needs a lover. He needs someone warm, someone that can also ground him a bit. And he knows this. Like, he knows that deep inside of all these archetypes and him being so curious, and his energy feels very like energetic, you know, like, he's very authentic. He doesn't fake it. But I think that deep inside, he needs someone to touch him, physically and internally. I think that he needs the love. He needs the warmth of someone's touch. He needs someone affectionate. I think that this is probably one of his biggest desires, to have a very loving partner. Not only someone that understands him and how he is, but also that is able to touch him and help him relax. Because he's also someone that probably, because of his lifestyle, he's so anxious about the future and about will we be okay? Will it be a success? Will I be successful? Will I have a chance? You know, he's always thinking about the future, and he doesn't want to be just one of many people. He wants to be remembered. But there's also his need for intimacy. You see, this card is very intimate. It's sort of having a partner that sees you for who you are. This is why it says touching one another. It's this very sensitive connection, you know. It's like this person really sees you. because I think that he's a bit anxious. You know, it's like with the Midas, definitely, you know, he is. He's a golden child. Like he's used to always getting compliments. Like this is why when he is in this connection, there's something about him wanting his special someone to have the best of the best. You know, the Midas is very greedy as well. And it's like, okay, I want this connection to be successful because I want my partner to have the best of the best. Like, I want our relationship to do well. Like, I want us to go to fancy restaurants. Like, I want us to travel. I want to, you know, make them very special gifts, expensive gifts as well, you know, because I can do it. And also with the visionary and the chameleon, you know, there's this need of him to be moving all the time. He's thinking like, how can I like do this better for this connection? How can I introduce change? And again, I feel this anxiety of like, I don't want my partner to get bored of me and leave me. What if they get tired of me? This is why with the chameleon is like, I will be whatever my partner wants me to be. I will adapt. Do you see the chameleon? You have the different elements. Do you see? You have the different elements. It's like I can be, like, it seems we were talking about placements, we were talking about a birth chart. It's as if when I'm with my partner, I grab my birth chart and I'm like, okay, I'm going to grab my Venus and I'm going to use the whole charm of that Venus and I'm going to use this today with you. He's like this. I'm sort of taking all the parts of myself and see which one you like the most. Or makes you happier. So he also wants to keep the relationship alive. You know, it seems like I don't want you to get bored of me. So at first it seems like he would do a lot. He would be a lot. You know, I sort of see him feeling anxious, like doing a lot, saying a lot, like communicating a lot, like, you know, and you'll be like, whoa. The person is not going anywhere. They are not going to abandon you. Relax. You know, this is why I think that if you see this person, again, we were talking the other day when we read for Lisa, that I was like, okay, this could be a person. This could also be this person because it talks about touching one another. So do you see this person is sort of caressing? It's like with their touch, it's like bringing this person back to the reality. Bringing that person with their touch is bringing them to the present, grabbing them to the present. It's like, I'm here. I'm choosing to be here in this connection with you. I'm not going anywhere. Don't worry, I'm not leaving you. You don't have to be all this to entertain me. I'm not leaving you. You can chill a bit. But he's sweet. He's sweet. DK is a natural comedian. He wanted to be one before choosing to be an idol. He has a talent for acting and performing characters. Oh! Okay. For the actor of Taxi Driver, actor Lee Jae-hoon. I'm going to write it here because I don't know if you guys know who I'm talking about. I don't know him, but yeah, he was requested. Oh, I don't know. They said actor, taxi driver. I don't know. Hello. Okay. For for this actor, Lee Hee-jung, we have the pioneer, judge, and athlete. So another one that is very competitive, and they want the best of the best. They want their partner to be the best. And from the oracle, he got the card of long-term commitment. Long-term commitment. Ah, yeah, the movie. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah. Okay, the oracle invites you to expressly avoid routine. Immersed in daily life, love dies at the outset. Its endurance comes from never-ending transformation and therefore of continuous renewal. So yeah, I was like, long-term commitment, and I was like sort of seeing this person, this couple sitting here, and she looked relaxed, but also like, So yeah, it can be about, avoiding routine. Sometimes when you're in a very long-term connection with someone, it can get boring, repetitive, and you have to introduce change. Otherwise, the relationship is not going to last. Probably this had happened to him in the past. I don't know about him. I don't know about this actor. This is my first time, I believe, reading for him. But probably he had experienced this in the past. Also, probably he has a tendency of having very long relationships. Is it a possibility? I don't know, because the actors' love life, they are very busy, and also some of them are a mystery. But it seems that probably is maybe his reality, or there's a part of him that he probably this is what he likes. He sort of ambitions to have a long-term commitment, not just a typical, just a relationship. He probably his purpose is for this to last, to be long-term. Yeah, with the pioneer, I think that with the pioneer and the judgment, I think that probably this comes from experience. I think that because with the pioneer, I feel like he already knows, or he already experienced stagnation and boredom and routine in his relationship. So maybe now this is why he has the judge card, because somehow he's like, I learned from my past experiences, or I heard other people going through this, and I want to think differently and be original in my connection. I want to introduce change. I want us to think about new ideas, new things to do together, like new adventures. I'm always looking, observing in my connection. The judge, it gives me very Libra vibes. I don't know, maybe he has a Venus in Libra or something like that, or a moon in Libra, but it's all about what is fair for the both of you. And he probably thinks a lot about his partner. He's not egotistic at all. He's like, okay, whatever makes my partner happy or makes them stay, that's what I want to do. I think that maybe he was at some point in a very long relationship and it didn't end very well. And probably there's a bit of guilt in this. And he's like, no, in my new relationship, I'm not going to let routine sort of destroy the relationship. I have to think smarter. I have to think better. I have to come up with new propositions, with new ideas. I cannot do this. Maybe he is a routinary person himself. And with the judgment, there's something about him also judging himself, and maybe his past choices, or maybe his past routines, and being like, yeah, it was my fault. I actually was behaving like this. You know, I didn't introduce that many changes. I thought we were okay, but no, the relationship was a failure, or it ended not very well. But probably he's someone that, you know, sometimes when you are in a long-term connection, you take things for granted. You take things for granted. You are like, yeah, okay, that person is my partner. I am their partner. We are okay. You know, I can move on with my life and my projects, and I can go to work. And then when I will come back, my partner will be there because, you know, we are in a long-term relationship. So maybe there's a part of him that he's like, you know, I sort of took things for granted, and maybe I was a bit lazy in the past, and now he's sort of fixated on introducing something new. And the athlete, yeah, it also shows that he's putting a lot of energy. He's like, you know, moving his body a bit more. Maybe he is a homebody. He's someone that probably he doesn't like to go out that much, but I think that he has changed. His mentality changed. He's like, you know, I'm going to do whatever it takes to keep this bond alive, this relationship excited, this relationship alive. And I think that he's like, you know, it's like, you know, feeding a plant, you know, it's like it's like watering plants, it's like, you know, taking care of your pets. You know, like I said, a relationship is like a whole organism. You know, it has its own personality, and it's alive. You know, it has its own rhythm. So you have to work on this. And I think that he is very invested. He probably is a bit too excited to do something for the relationship. He's like, okay, I already have a list of things that I want to do with you. You know, we're going to do this, and I already signed us for this activity, and we will do this. And if I have to travel and go and see you to the other part of the world, I will do it. You know, very active, very active. I think he doesn't want to fail. I think that for him, relationships are a precious gift. Maybe he loves being in a relationship. He loves to be in love. And this is his desire, to have a long-term commitment with someone, growing old with someone, with the same person, you know, not having to break up and starting all over, you know, and I have to go and get out there in life and start dating again and getting to know someone all over again. And you know, in the first months and stages of the connection again, you know, he sort of wants to meet the one and just stay with that person for the rest of his life, you know. And this is why he's like, okay, I have to make sure that routine doesn't kill the connection. Okay, for Ateez Wooyoung. Ateez Wooyoung. Okay, for Ateez Wooyoung, we have the archetype of artist, mediator, and saboteur. And then from the oracle, he got the card of the Tome of Love. The Tome of Love. Okay. The Tome of Love. It says, in marriage there is a repression, a domestication of love in function of other interests, of the ego's primordial fears, which mark its ends. Its end. The oracle signals that it is time for revolution. Evaluate what your life is based on. The invitation is to regenerate yourself. In you, there is always creative force capable of renewing and renewing yourself eternally. Yeah, it's creepy actually. Yeah, the tomb of love. It's like the tomb of love. I'm going to read it again. In marriage, there is a repression, a domestication of love in function of other interests, of the ego's primordial fears, which mark its end. The oracle signals that it is time for revolution. Evaluate what your life is based on. The invitation is to regenerate yourself. In you, there is always a creative force capable of renewing and renewing yourself eternally. So yeah, I think that this also is very similar to what the actor before got, about the long-term commitment, also this, the tomb of love, and also there's like a tomb in here, and there's like these people inside their houses, a couple. So, it's also, I think that it's all about routine as well, routine, stagnation. When you have that, the person, everything, but at the same time, there's this feeling of like, you can rejuvenate this, you can do something to save this, sometimes, like I mentioned, we take connections for granted. We are like, oh, okay, yeah, we are married. In this card, it talks about marriage, not just dating. It talks about marriage. It's like when you're married, when you live with your partner, and you have this commitment, that is formal, is legal, but what now? It's like, don't forget to also like work on the relationship. Don't let the routine kill the passion or the, don't take your connection for granted, because yeah, it can die. Yeah, we have the artist. So definitely, I think that when I see the artist, I see, I think that definitely for him to be in love is part of being an artist. I think that he takes the creativity of, I think that in every area of his life, Wooyoung is an artist, like he is a performer, so probably, everything that he does when it comes to his craft or his roles, it's always like, he also takes it to his home or to his home life, maybe, I don't know, he creates while he's at his house or while he is, with his loved one. He is also talking about artistic things, or he's always creating something with their partner next to it. So it's like he performs probably. Like I see him like just being an artist, it's like the artist archetype never leaves him. He will always be an artist. Mediator again, the mediator and the gossip card are these sort of like archetypes that they give me, like they sort of, without them intending to, sometimes that they let people or people's opinions in their connection. They let them affect the connection. The mediator is a very Libra also, well, not just Libra, I think that this has to do with people that can be a bit of people pleasers, that they want everyone to get along. So I could sort of see him, trying to fix certain connections. I mean, like, you should get along better with my family, and I will get along better with your family. And, let's do this gathering so we can get to know each other better, so we can spend more time together. Don't worry, I will talk to them. And him just like, being, being this promoter of like a mediation, being like, let me talk to them, I will fix this. Is there an issue? I will go and mediate. Like, and him maybe is not even invited. Like, there's something about Wooyoung that I always get this
rush to get involved in certain things that he wants to help. Definitely his intentions are positive. He doesn't mean his intentions are very clear. He wants to help others, but sometimes maybe a bit too often he gets in the middle of other people's businesses. So, he is, with the mediator card, I think that he just wants everyone to get along. And he is a people's pleaser, so he's like, even though maybe he doesn't like certain people, he's always smiling to them, and just being funny and being witty. And I feel like maybe that can also sort of make their partner a bit anxious, like, why did you talk to them? Like, I had to do it. Like, it wasn't your, it wasn't your calling. Like, I had to do it. It was my issue. But he's like, no, but we are a couple. So your issues are my issues. So let me help you. And, not understanding that, it's okay. You don't have to get in the way, because we have saboteur. So I think that yeah, from time to time, I think that Wooyoung is very complex in a stable connection. I think that he is a great partner. Definitely, he is very devoted. Like, he loves to be in this connection. He got a marriage or a very committed card. So definitely, I also see him being in a marriage instead of just thinking about a stable connection. This could mean about him in a marriage, something that is okay, we will get married. Like, where are the papers? I will sign it. Very formal, very traditional. Very respectful. Just wanting to be in the connection. Just being willing to do anything, for the connection and the people that he loves. But like I said people. So I think that there's something about Wooyoung that I do get, that since he tries to make everyone happy, I think that it's like he involves his partner's family. And maybe he can be when you are when you have these kind of partners that they are so nice to your parents or to your family, that that your family loves your partner even more than they love you. Because they are a sunshine, because they are funny, because they are loving, because they are affectionate, and you're not. So I sort of see him winning over this his partner's close circle of friends and family, and him getting very involved in the middle. This is why we have the mediator. But at the same time, I feel like maybe there could be a bit of friction, because his partner is they are my family. Yeah, you are my partner, but I'm supposed to handle this because it's a me problem. He's like, no, because we are a partnership. We are a partnership. So whatever happens to you, it's me. Let me handle this. And him in his attempt to wanting to help, him sabotaging the connection or sabotaging certain things. I think that he has a lot of learning to do in this connection. I think that first of all, he needs maybe a partner that loves him very much, but also that is someone that is very good at putting boundaries. Because with Wooyoung, if you don't put boundaries to him, he exaggerates. His energy is going to take over your life, your everything, because it's like he wants to be part of every little aspect of your life. And sometimes, relationships, you need independency. You need this, this is my issue. I am going to take care of this on my own. I am a capable person. I have mouth and ears. So, I can communicate perfectly without you mediating into my business. So don't go too far. Just let's fix our connection. Let's work on our connection. Do not go, do not go outside of this intimacy. Because I don't know why I get a lot of people in the middle. Like, I get that it's more about him having a better relationship with her family. I say her because I feel like it's a she, but having like him getting along better or having like a more fluent and fun relationship with his partner's family than his own partner. His own partner feeling like, I feel like I don't belong here. Like, you guys don't need me since you are loving him, and he's also so charming. He's an artist, so definitely he's so charming. He's like the life of a party. So this is all about like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing too much? This is not a survival show. Like, this is not, you don't have to seduce no one. This is not a survival show. Like, because the saboteur is like by him doing a lot, he can actually like affect the bond. And actually his potential partner can actually resent him for this. And him, because he's so giving, him not understanding what he does wrong. Him not understanding, like, why, if I'm being nice, I've been nice to your family, I'm being nice to your friends, why, he doesn't get it. Why don't they adopt him if they love him so much? Exactly, that's what I would say. It's like, stay in your line. Like, don't, there's no need. Okay, I'm going to continue with the leader. Okay, I'm going to continue with Hongjoong, the leader. Another one that got the seeker card. Very sexy as well, very seductive, very seductive. Very sexy, very sexy, a lot of pleasure, I think, here. Okay. For Hongjoong, Ateez Hongjoong, we have the seeker, player, and hedonist. So definitely for him, relationships, it's all for enjoyment. And he got the card of fervor. So see, a lot of passion, a lot of like movement, a lot of fervor. Okay, it says, the oracle bears witness to the happy impetus of the force that once shared becomes fervor. Success is due to abandoning oneself to the power of love. The absence of resistance is the only thing required. Yeah, I think that this is very interesting because I definitely sense that Hongjoong, it's someone, definitely he's a Scorpio, so he's very passionate himself. But a lot of times when I read about him, I get this vibe that he has a lot of responsibilities, and he is too much here. So when I see the card of fervor, it's like the card of fervor is like, unleash your desires, unleash the potential, be passionate, run like full speed to your lover, like don't measure yourself, don't limit yourself. The fervor is in there. the fervor is part of your essence, you know, like you don't need to restrict it. Because I feel like he's very passionate and everything, but there are moments where he restricts himself. When I read for him, I often feel like he restricts himself. It's like, you know, the type of person that, yeah, he would like someone, but he wouldn't say anything, or he would, you know, he would want something for himself, but no, I have to sacrifice for the others because, and in here we're talking about an intimate connection, a stable connection. So it's like, you know, in these connections, it's stable, like release the fervor, like release your passions. Like, don't be afraid. Like, the person is not going to be like, no, 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 you are being too much. No, no, no. It's okay to be like this. It's a part of himself. It's a part of himself that he has to sort of reconcile with. You know, that this is something that you can feel also in the intimacy of a bond. Not just when you are creating something, because definitely he puts a lot of his energy in his work. I usually get very like workaholic vibes, but he's always in his mind. In here is more about passion, it's more about movement, like move your body towards the person that you love. Go fast to see them and to be with them. Don't restrict yourself. We have the seeker that, again, you know, someone that is has the spheres of knowledge and truth there where it's found. So see, the seeker is someone like I mentioned for the others that got it as well. There's something probably about him just wanting answers. You know, like, okay, while I'm in this connection, since it's stable and I can trust, I also have questions about myself. Like he has questions, like he probably like questions himself, his own fervor. It's like, why am I feeling this passionate? Why am I feeling this, you know, this excited, this like I cannot control my desire, my need to be with this person, my need to be there, my need to see them more often. You know, feeling like a very, you know, fiery nature and being like, I cannot control this. I feel like I'm out of control and I want answers. Like him trying to rationalize again and go through here, why am I being like this? And maybe because you want to have fun. He wants to connect with that player and hedonist side of himself in the intimacy of the bond. It's like you can be sexy, you can be sexual, you can have a lot of pleasure in the intimacy of the relationship. You can enjoy this relationship. And you can explore pleasure, slowing down and enjoying the good things in life. Sort of integrating the passionate side of a Scorpio and the other part of the opposite sign of a Scorpio, that is Taurus, that is like, let's not rush this moment of pleasure. Let's keep enjoying each other's company more. Let's keep expanding our desire. Let's keep expanding our sex life. Let's try new things. Let's just keep it spicy. And very like just loving this, just pleasure, not pain, nor worries, no, not room for that. Probably, you know, this is, I think that he definitely needs this because it does sound like a Scorpio that actually his sex life is not very well expressed, I would say. Like definitely he has his sexual side, but I think that because of his job, because of his lifestyle, you know, there's something about him thinking like, oh, I have to be sexual or I have to be sexy when I'm creating or when I'm on a stage or when I'm performing. And here is like, wait, you can also use your sex, your sexiness or your sexual desires to have pleasure with your partner. You know, there's an intimacy waiting for you. And this is something that you can do to sort of heal and fuel your connection. And also maybe acknowledge that he loves pleasure and that he wants to be pleasure. He wants to enjoy himself in the connection. He doesn't want a boring connection. He doesn't want a relationship that is all about like, oh yeah, I like you, you like me, yeah, we're seeing each other, this is cool. No, it's more like, you know, let's go deeper. Let's go faster. I have needs. Slow it down, make it bouncy. Yeah, it's just that I think that there could be a conflict with sexuality here. And it does make sense because if you think about it, if you think about performers, you know, idols, that they dress sexy, they dance sexy, they have sexy performances, they have sexy interactions, they have to sort of build this charisma on stage. But that's not a representation of how they behave when they are in bed with someone in real life. So sometimes maybe there's some people that because they work with their charisma, with their sensuality, with their bodies, with their beauty, you know, sometimes when they are, you know, in the intimacy, the last thing they want is to go again and perform for a partner. You know, it's like, I'm sorry, it's like, I'm tired. I already stripped myself on the stage. Like, you know, I just want to put on my sweatpants and a t-shirt and I want to go to sleep. Like, I'm tired. My body's tired. I don't want to be sexy. You know, and when you are in a connection, you know, sensuality and sexuality is a very important part of a relationship. So, you know, you have to get creative in bed as well. You have to be creative in bed. So it's like, you know, it's not just for the cameras or for creating an album. You know, it is like, you know, you have a partner, like, you know, and you also have desires. You know, there's something about, you know, you also have to think that these idols, there's this, maybe for actors and entertainers it's the same. When you are so much at service for others, or when you are so much like for the public, when you have to go back to the intimacy and go back to you, you maybe don't recognize what is pleasure. What do I like? What do I find sexy? What is my fantasy? They are very busy being other people's fantasies. Okay, I'm going to continue with twice Nayeon. Oh, for twice Nayeon. Okay. Okay, for her, it's very funny because this card just like it, I'm double. We start for Nayeon, the archetype of goddess, damsel, and athlete. So yeah, this is the moon in Leo all the way, because I see a lot of like, she wants to be adored, she wants to be treated like a queen, like a goddess, being appreciated, being the protagonist, you know, being the best. I love it for her. But then we have from the oracle, we have the card of deception. So definitely there's a message here for Nayeon. Maybe she has to let go of something, because if you notice, this small doll is grabbing something, an object, and in the middle there's the heart. Okay, for Nayeon it says, something is causing love to run away. In fact, that energy is retreating, folding back on itself to protect itself. It cannot do otherwise. In short, you will be exhausted, and you won't see even the shadow of love anymore. Wow. So maybe she has to go through certain deceptions in her personal life to sort of like, understand, what is causing the love to run away from her. I don't know, maybe it's really hard for her to actually create a commitment with someone. Maybe the partner just runs away, the person that she likes or that she desires runs away from commitment or runs away from a relationship. We have the goddess archetype and damsel and athlete. So yeah, I think that definitely here what I get from Nayeon is that she has a very healthy self-esteem. She's very feminine. Like, I think that the energy that she brings into a stable relationship is for her to be beautiful, to be flawless, to be the best. She will make sure that she's looking her best, like just being this beautiful woman, always impeccable, like always like shining, amazing, with the very feminine, very connected with her sensuality and her body. And also damsel, is from time to time, sort of, I can sort of see her like probably playing a bit dumb, and acting a bit clueless. I mean, like, oh, I don't know how to do this. So, she can have her partner's help or assistance. There's something about her. Like, I think that she's so smart because definitely she knows how to fix things. She's very independent. But maybe in relationships, for the first time in her life, she wants to depend on someone. This is why we have the archetype of the damsel. Because there's something about her, like I want to be treated like a damsel. Like I'm sort of tired of always being self-sufficient, of always being the best. Like, I want to be a lady, and I want my partner to help me and assist me and be there for me and just being a gentleman and do things for me, help me. I think that definitely she is someone that she needs a lot of attention. I think that this is one of the things that I can feel. Like, definitely she's always going to make sure she looks her best, to be her best version, to be optimistic, to be beautiful, like all about appearances. And also I think that she wants to be her partner's ideal woman. There's something about her also focusing a lot on her body, on her appearances. With the athlete, I can sort of see her like getting more into like working out and doing a lot of things to be her best version. I see that she's very competitive. She probably has her dream person, her dream guy, and maybe her dream person is someone that maybe is surrounded by a lot of beautiful women. So she's like, I have to beat them. I sort of see a bit of competitiveness, that I have to be the best of all the women in here, because I know that you see a lot of beautiful women, but I have to be the best of the best. So I sort of see her like connecting more with her more vulnerable side of being like, oh, I don't know how to do this. Can you help me? Like, can you assist me here? Sort of like, so she allows the man to play the role of the man in the relationship, and not so much her being like, okay, I'm going to take over the connection, and since I'm so good at everything, I'm going to fix everything in the house, like, and I'm going to take care of everything myself because I'm self-sufficient. It's like, this is a woman that she can be, but there's something about her just, just wanting to be maybe a simple wife. She wants to be treated like a goddess. She is a goddess. So there's something like, she wants to be a woman in the connection. She wants to be taken care of. There's something about her like, I want to be a wife. With the athlete, I think that she probably can get a bit competitive, sort of like if she hangs out with other women, there's something about her like looking at what others are doing, like, okay, how do you do in your marriage? Tell me about it. Like, how is it in your marriage? And her thinking like, oh no, they're having troubles in there, so I have to be better with my marriage. Sort of comparing her experiences, being a bit competitive, yeah. But yeah, with deception, this card is very heavy, because it's like I think that there's something about her probably, because all these cards are all about the external side of the archetypes. It's all about like, oh, I'm the woman in the relationship, can you help me? Can you assist me? Can you give me this? It's all about what you can do for me, and I think that in here, there's something about like literally like the oracle says, the love keeps running away. Like the relationship somehow doesn't end very well, and it ends up in deception. So definitely she has to pay attention to what is causing this. Why does this end in deception? Maybe her expectations are too high, maybe she thinks like she puts attribute on her partner that are too positive. Maybe the person is not that good of a person, is not that good of a partner, but she doesn't see it, because she gets so devoted, in the role of like, I want to be his wife, or I want to be their wife, or I want to be their woman, that she sort of is like, okay, we are perfect here because I am already perfect. Like I fit in here in this role perfectly, but you are not maybe looking at, is the other person willing to play that part as well? Like, are they excited to be with you? Like, it's not so much about like what they can buy you or do for you. It's more like there's signs that she doesn't see, that it can show maybe the person not being that interested, or the person just being a bit not who they say that they are initially. So she has to be careful, she has to be careful. Definitely she would love to be in a relationship. Maybe she has a type already, so she's like holding on very tight to the opportunities, like I found the one, and actually maybe, her getting fixated on an idea, an ideal, and not seeing that there's hope for her to find something authentic, and that maybe it can represent her better. But yeah. Oh. Okay, I'm going to continue with TXT Soobin. Oh, okay. He got the same card as Kai. The Wayfarer. Remember, we got the card of the Wayfarer for Kai. It's about not staying in the relationships. The Traveler. Okay, for Soobin, we start with the archetype of detective, hermit, and lover. The rover card. Those names we put to the cards. Oh my god. I'm laughing because it's so funny that we renamed the cards in K-pop style, K-pop song styles. Mm. Uh, okay, the Wayfarer. The omen speaks to the traveler within you. As you move from one experience to another, meeting friends and lovers, you are a traveler. Something prevents you from stopping forever. You try and try again. And every time you feel like you have reached a permanent home, but there comes a moment, and that's it, when you feel like you have to resume the journey. So yeah, the traveler, basically like she, yes, yeah. Um, I don't want to get copyright by SM. singing, singing Robert. Uh, yeah, definitely he has to embrace that, yeah, some relationships, very meaningful relationships for him can end and he feels this need to, okay, I have to advance with my life. Yeah, very Sagittarius, definitely, like very Sagittarius. We have the detective and the hermit. So again, I think that he's a very deep thinker. Like there's something about Soobin that I think that he enters these relationships because he wants to know about himself. You know, it's like, okay, the best way that I can actually get to know myself and my feelings and why I am the way I am is to be in a relationship. I have to be in a relationship. I think that he's super curious. He's super curious about, you know, what is the relationship going to change him? Is he acting differently? Is he looking differently? I think that he's so curious about what the relationship can do for him. And also the hermit is also, like, I think that is a very lonely card. You know, the hermit also, it reminds me like, maybe he is in a relationship, or he could enter a stable relationship, or just, you know, remain for a lot of years in a stable relationship, just because it's an experience for him. You know, it's like it's a part of his life, of his journey. But like the traveler says, you know, his intention is not to stay. Actually, like he loves to be able to get more information about, like, okay, what is it like for me to be in a connection? I have to go deep into this. Like, what is it for me? You know, like, how does this change me? Am I different? How am I? Is my life purpose changing? Is my mindset changing? You know, he's very curious, very curious. And also I think that the hermit is also someone that if he has the potential to create something, maybe to write some lyrics, to write poems, you know, he can get creative, you know, just thinking about his relationship. With the hermit, I think that I don't know why it gives me that he could be in relationships or in a very long one, but actually it's not the typical relationship. I think that with the hermit, I get the vibe that he could be like at a long distance relationship. Like there's something about them not seeing each other that often because he's busy, because he has his, you know, his lifestyle, because he's on the road, because he has projects, but he still doesn't break up. You know, when you have that love from before, and he holds on very tight to that person. That person is special. You know, he learned and grew with that person. He learned a lot about himself, or he met this person at a very important moment of his life. So he doesn't want to give this relationship up. But at the same time, there's not much connection, because in here I think that I don't see the person. I think that it's more like, okay, what is it for me to be in this connection? I think that he's more like on the reflective, like self-reflection kind of mode. Like, what is love? What is connections? Can I write about it? Something very solitary that is not like he's thinking like, okay, like what can I do for my partner to make them feel better, to be better? Definitely he got the lovers. He had the lover card. So he is very much in the mood for love. This is why I'm like, he could be the sort of person that, even though the relationship could be at a distance and just not very exciting, and them having a lot of issues to be together, he could still sustain the connection, and be like, oh, but yeah, we're separated, but we still love each other, because he is a lover. At the end, I sort of see him like giving these very lame excuses, and being like, oh, but I love you, and you love me, and we've known each other since forever, so yeah, let's continue this. This is beautiful what we have here. But it's more like a philosophy. Like, I sort of don't see him getting involved into the reality of what it's like to be in a connection with seeing the person or living with that person every day. It's more like, oh, when I think about her, I think about love, and I get feelings of love, and I miss them, and I think about them, and I think I'm going to do this for them. But it's all very far away, very distant, very much in here in the imaginary. And also him thinking about like, okay, what is love? What is relationships? Very philosophical, very philosophical. But yeah, also with the lovers, I think that he says that he has like an affection that is limitless towards something or someone. So I definitely also with the lovers, I think that there's something about him probably having a hard time having to break up with someone. This is why I get long distance vibe. Like he knows he has to end the connection because it's not going anywhere. But he's like, oh, but I appreciate them. They are important for me. So sort of like not, and they always been in their mind, in his mind, like not letting him go, like being part of his. He sort of takes these experiences like, like part of that makes him who he is. But yeah, very like I see long distance. Not so much like experiencing a close connection of two bodies or two people meeting each other in person. No, I think that is my memory of my special someone, something like that, Oh, okay. Okay, I'm going to continue with Jeonghan. TXT Jeonghan. I don't know why I got very Wooyoung's vibe. Yeah. So funny how everyone sees Soobin as husband material, though that label seems to be stamped of every leaders actually. Yeah. This is why I think that he's so interested. Maybe he's like, that also is an experience for him. Like, what is it being a husband? Or husband materials for my fans. So I can sort of see him like also, feeding into the fans' love because he is a lover. So not letting them go and being like, always like sort of like adding to that fantasy, and just, making room for that love to exist, even though he knows that it's not going anywhere, Okay, for Joon, we have Poet, Femme Fatale, Saboteur. and from the oracle, my side. Oh. And it's very interesting because he got the femme fatale, and I got fatal again. Fatal event. A lot of fatality in here. Fatal twice. A lot of fatality. So yeah. TXT Jeonghan. Okay. Fatal event. The oracle's advice is to leave this moment of intensity for what it is. It will leave an intimate and everlasting trace in your life. Enter deeply into the present moment. Feel yourself quivering. Listen to the quiver. Let the heart speak to the heart. It happens. We only need to eliminate every obstacle to its happening. It is only in this way that love continues to recreate itself. I'm going to read it again. The oracle's advice is to leave this moment of intensity for what it is. It will leave an intimate and everlasting trace in your life. Enter deeply into the present moment. Feel yourself quivering. Listen to the quiver. Let the heart speak to the heart. It happens. We only need to eliminate every obstacle to its happening. It is only in this way that love continues to recreate itself. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think that I do get a lot of seduction, beauty, intensity, a lot of passion for each other, a lot of attraction, you know, like that eventually it just, maybe the ending, it has to happen at some point because of the attraction and the level of illusion that is in here. You know, I think that definitely I do get for Jeonghan that he's so Venusian. He loves to be in a relationship, or he loves to feel the passion, he loves to feel the attraction, he loves the honeymoon. He just is a lover. He got the femme fatale, so definitely, you know, he becomes very seductive. He loves to be flirtatious. He loves to be flirted back, you know. He's also a poet, so he gets very much in the mood of love, and he gets romantic, and maybe he writes songs or he writes poets himself. He creates because he loves that rush, that adrenaline when you like someone and you're like, yeah, I'm seeing my person and I like my person, and whenever I see them, I get all, you know, all beautiful, and I get ready to see them and I show them my best version. And with femme fatale, it's like I will flirt like no other. Like I will be the best lover you ever had. Like he definitely is very, like very much like into, like, you know, like connecting with the Venusian side of him. He, you know, when we think about the femme fatale, we think like, okay, it's a woman that maybe dresses a bit provocative. You know, she sort of gets in this goddess, also very beautiful, very confident about her body, her shape. You know, the perfume that she wears. You know, the hairdo, the makeup, everything. And I feel that for Jeonghan is like this. You know, he's like, okay, I will get ready, I will wear the best perfume, you know, I will get my hair ready. You know, he's like, I'm going to see my person. And he loves that. He loves that feeling of like, you want me, I want you, and I just feel so sexy and so wanted. Like, give me more. This is what I want. This is what he likes. But then we have the card of Saboteur. so again, when we have the card of saboteur, there's this feeling that maybe there's a lot of concentration on pleasure and beauty and attraction, and I wouldn't say sex. It's not about sex. It's more about being attractive to each other, and it's like, okay, you like me, I like you, and there's this rush, the initial rush that you feel when you're, getting to know someone. But, that eventually fades away, it's like, this is not something that you can, like, sort of feel for the person at the long run. Sometimes, initially we feel all these things, but then when it comes to maybe you getting to know each other more, or getting closer to each other, even living together, routine gets in the way. And eventually we get there. We get there where, the magic, it's not that the magic is gone, but it's like, that a relationship cannot just be sustained on seduction, on, like, I find you attractive, you are attractive, like we are going to be happy forever. No, it's more about other things, And I think that he is a bit naive in that sense, like with the poet. I think that he's very idealistic, in his ideal mindset is like he thinks that the honeymoon state, or the moment of, when you think that your partner is the most beautiful thing you ever seen, and it's vice versa, and it's like, oh, you and I, we cannot get enough of each other because we are perfect and we are young and we just want to be together and nothing's going to stop us. But then, there comes the reality, there comes real life issues, disagreements. And I sort of see him like, sort of being like, oh, when the first issue or differences arrives, he doesn't have the maturity to face them. So he gets on this saboteur mode that is like, oh, so you are mad at me. Oh, you didn't like what I say. You don't like what I did. Oh, you don't understand me. Oh, you don't agree on this? Okay, I'm going to go. Somehow him wanting to get the beauty of the experience of being in a relationship, but probably not being ready to face the not so favorable parts of being in a commitment. That sometimes there's ugly parts, and that not everything shines like the first months or the first encounters. Then you get closer and closer and closer, and you see, the routine, and you see that even you change. But I think that he has this idealism that is like, I will never change. I want to be wanted forever. I want to be desired forever. Like he has sort of an addiction to be wanted. It's like you have to make him feel special. This is why he has the femme fatale, because you have to sort of feed his need to, like, you have to tell him, like, you're beautiful. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets into an argument, he would be like, calling his partner out and be like, I'm going back to my fans because my fans love me. They always love me unconditionally, and you don't. So bye. So I think that he is someone that he needs the attention, and probably he gets very picky, or he gets very sensitive when you don't agree with him on getting. When he doesn't get what he wants, he tends to sabotage. He tends to sabotage the bond. He gets upset. He gets offended. He just disappears. He may ghost you. Like, there's something. Like, and also the fatal event, is like he knows, unconsciously he knows that maybe this could be a pattern that he could also repeat in connections, that somehow this is when his reality shatters. Do you see? Do you see the shadow here? This is when the reality shatters. It's like when reality hits him and things are not that pretty anymore. or things are not that glamorous anymore. And he's like, oh, I didn't know it was going to be like this. This is not cool. So, yeah, he has to work on that. But he can experience this sort of fatal event or disagreements very often until he realizes that, yeah, that maybe relationships, it takes a lot more that attraction. That would be the cringiest thing to say. I think a lot of artists feel like that. They must say that to their ex-wives all the time. Like, I left you because you didn't love me like the way my fans love me. Okay. I'm going to continue with Jennie, Blackpink Jennie. Okay, for Jennie. Ah, she's a dreamer. So beautiful. I never seen this card. That's why I was looking at it. Okay, Jennie got the archetype of knight, beggar, and healer. Another one that has the magical touch. And from the oracle, she got the card of mystical union. Mystical union. Okay, it says, the oracle speaks of a missed encounter. One yearns for something, one hopes, but the resolution does not come. It is a warning. In the intimate communion that love with the lover engenders, one comes to grasp the possible fusion that is completion and realization. It is a flash of precious intuition, but elusive. That is why it is fundamental to link love to meditation. Definitely, like, this sounds very much like a warning for a Venus in Pisces. That is like, yeah, this is great, but it's elusive. It's elusive. If you don't ground this energy or this encounter, a special spiritual encounter with someone, like, you may feel like it's mystical, but maybe the other part doesn't have that level of intuition. But at the same time, it's like, it's a moment. It's a feeling, but it's not like a sort of a guarantee, or it's not like a promise to a long-lasting union. It's more like an experience that it was amazing while it lasted, but then, yeah. She's dreamy, definitely. Yeah, with the knight archetype, definitely. I think that Jennie is the knight archetype. I don't know why. She could be the man in the relationship, and this is, because the knight it is an archetype that is not. This is not about sex. This is not about, oh, she's a woman. Maybe this doesn't. No, but I think that the knight is a very courageous and like it's someone that is like, I will defend my people. I will defend my people. I keep my word. Like, I defend my partner. I will not back down. I will defend them. Also, this could be that maybe, you know, I don't know why I get this Venus in Pisces, sorry. I want to find the positive side of this, but I have the urge to say that this could also have a flaw. That I think that with the Knight, I think that this is like, it gives me this vibe that she could be this kind of lover that she would defend their partner no matter what. Sort of being blinded. You know, like when you get on the like someone is attacking or someone is saying something negative about your partner, and she's like the first one to go and do something to stand up for that person or defend them or say something like a statement to sort of like put herself and her presence on her in her actions to be like, I am on my partner's side. So don't talk bad about them. So, you know, she could have this like, I defend my partner and my partner's actions. Like if you are her partner, like she will defend anything related to you. Like blindly. You know. So, because in here it says loyalty and honor. So I sort of see her like coming to the rescue of her potential partner and being like, I will defend their name. Or I will do something to defend them, or clean their name. And it's like, whoa, like, aren't you being too loyal? Like, you know, let them fix their own battles. Like, but her just feeling like, this is why I wanted to say, like, it feels masculine. It feels like, don't you dare like say something about my partner, because I am their defensor. Very territorial, something like this. You know, like I step on here, I step on you to let you know that you shall not pass. I will not let you. So it feels very like, whoa, like, and this could be partner, it could also be friends or acquaintances that she feels like, you know, they are her people. So she feels like this, like I have to defend them, or I have to make a statement or say something. So I will be like, you know, I'm not backing down. They are my people. You know. The beggar. This is also, is also like a Venus in Pisces. Yeah, very spiritual. Compassion, self-esteem. Yeah, I think that the beggar that's just like the name of the beggar is someone that, this is why I see that she could react prematurely if you hurt someone that she loves, because there's a part of her that she feels wronged. You know, there's a part of her that she reacts because of a wound of the past. You know, there's something about her with the beggar that I think that she was hurt, or there's something about her just feeling like, you know, she didn't deserve love, or she didn't deserve to be loved, or she felt abandoned at some point. I don't have any children's archetype in here, but I think that it comes from feeling the fear of rejection. So she holds on very tight to her people. And the beggar is like, literally someone that will do anything to keep like the partner, you know. And this can also be, do you see this person, how they are closing their eyes, you know, they have their hands on their eyes, they are refusing to see, you know. And he says dependency on others to avoid the effort. Also, this also has to do, like, maybe she relies a lot on their partner. Is like, can you help me with this? Like, becoming a bit codependent of their partner, being like, I cannot do it without them. Can you help me? Like, can you help me? Can you, like, you know, and because there's like a lack of self-esteem, you know, there's a part of her that maybe she feels weak, you know, the more emotionally invested she is, She feels like she runs out of energy, or she runs out of affirmation, like she feels weak inside. So it's like begging, this is why it's the beggar, begging to her partner, like, please be my support. Please make the effort for me, because I cannot do it. So, yeah. And the healer, yeah, she has, this is interesting because I think that she has the potential to be a healer, but I think that she is a healer for others, but she doesn't heal herself yet. It's like she's like the typical person that is great at giving advices to others, but she doesn't apply it for herself. So it's like she helps the others, she helps the people that she loves, she's there to make sure that they are okay, but she doesn't give the same care for herself. So I think that definitely there's something about her just putting a lot emotionally from her to sort of defend her partner. And probably this is something that if you ever see her, or if you ever find out about her in a stable connection, you probably are going to notice that she can get a bit sensitive over anything that is related to her partner. You will see her like sort of coming out to defend them, or saying something to defend them, and you will be like, but this is their issues, like, and she will be like, nope, because it's my partner. Like, there's this feeling of like, you know, like she loses herself in the fusion. This is why we have, you know, mystical union, because there's a part of her very intuitive that she loses herself. Spiritually, it's like she meshes with the person. And I don't think that she does it voluntarily, she doesn't do it willingly, but definitely it has to do with her sensitive nature and also with her spiritual part. She, like someone mentioned here, Lex, that you said, is Jennie an empath? I believe it has something to do with empathy, because I think that she cannot separate her energy from her partner. And probably this can happen through sex. This is why it says mystical union, because she feels like, you know, like she loses herself with her partner. She is, and she is a defensor. But I believe she's a defensor of her partner, or whatever her partner represents, because, or her people in general, because I believe that she was always denied of being proud of something that is hers or is related to her. You know, like a creation, something individual, her own choices. It's like, that's why she gets on the night mode, very on the defensive, and very reactive, you know, very upset, even aggressive a bit, because I feel like she's like, I'm tired of people just like not respecting my choices. It's like, I don't know if maybe people around her are like, you know, every choice you had made, or people that you had hang out with, or people that you had been with, or people that you were associated with, they weren't good people. So she's like, you know, I'm tired of people just not letting me have the connection that I want to have. So this is why probably in the future you could see her, you know, sort of getting very defensive over the person that she's going to be with, or she's going to be dating. It's like, for her, you know, anything associated with her person is her own history, you know, it's her own, you know, because I think that she has that wound, that inner wound of like, you know, I have to defend what I love, the person that I love, because it's like they always talk down on her decisions. You know, it seems like they always talk bad. I don't know, when I say this, it could be people around her, it could be the fans, it could be, you know, there's this sense of people always disapproving of her choices, and she's like, this is why she gets so like you know, on the defensive and about to attack, because she's tired. You know, it's like they never, I don't know if it feels like people never approve of her choices. Never. Like, you know, like we had been seeing for Jennie, like every time she does something, there's always criticism. And it's like, it's a magnet. You know, for her, maybe it had happened a long time ago, but she still remembers the feeling of like, everything I do for them, it sucks. Everything I create, it sucks. Everything, like the effort that I put, oh, it's not good enough. Like, you know, there's always backlash. So she feels very sensitive about like, okay, you better do not talk bad about my partner. Something like that. Okay, I'm going to continue with the last one, that is Monsta X I.M. And then I'm going to go. Okay. For Monsta X I.M. or Jungwoo, we start with the archetype of Samaritan, Midas, and Distractor. And the card of Waiting from the Oracle. Wait. Oh my God. I have to attach these pages because, okay, waiting. In love, it is important to let itself be fulfilled. Waiting is a spell. For a moment, you come in contact with who you are. You are completely centered in yourself. The oracle says you are waiting. Don't wish for anything else. So yeah, again, like when I read for different idols, like when they got the card of waiting, definitely it shows that the person is not in a rush to get in a relationship right away, or even if the connection happens and you know there's the possibility, they just are enjoying the moment of, you know, when they meet, the first encounters, you know, how the relationship develops. There's this sense of just calmness and clarity. You know, it's like I'm enjoying the now. I'm enjoying how I feel about this person. Like I'm not asking for more. I'm just waiting. And sort of probably waiting for the relationship to surprise them, you know, and not having this anxiety of like, okay, what is this relationship going to bring me, or what do I have to bring into the relationship? It's like, let's wait. Let's not put any labels on the connection. Let's just enjoy the now. And probably secretly he wants to be surprised. It's like, oh, you know, I turned out to be a better partner than I expected. Or I lasted longer than I expected. Something like that. With the Samaritan, definitely, and the Midas, I think that he's just, like, remember when I read for the voice Joon, that I was like, this guy is so nice, he's so generous. I can sort of see him dating his friend or dating someone that is not his type, but since he likes the person and he's like, oh, this person is cool, or they are nice to me, I can sort of see him dating someone that, you know, maybe initially they didn't see this person as potential. It's more like the person showing interest in him and him being like, yeah, let's date. You know, him just being that, like, do you want to date me? Okay, let's do it. You know, him being like this. I think that he just would love a sort of beginning like this. Just very casual. And also him sort of putting himself in the place of like, you want to be with me? Okay. You know, like this. you know, the Samaritan is someone that gives to others without, you know, looking at what am I giving, you know, like, okay, what am I giving and what are you taking? No, it's like I freely give you my time, like I positionate myself in your life, and like, do you like me? I like you, yeah, let's date. Something like this. But I can sort of see him entering a connection if the other person asks him out, more than him being like, I'm going to initiate and ask this person out. No, I can sort of see him getting into a very awkward agreement, but being like, yeah, let's date. Like, just like that, you know, just like very, you know, nice. And also with the Midas, I think that that's when he finally is in the relationship, he could, like, reality actually could hit him, and be like, oh, I guess I have to do the best, or I guess I have to, you know, sort of like, okay, I have to make them feel good, like, what do they like? I have to find out about them. I have to listen to them. I have to be there. And probably he's also thinking about money, you know, like I have to buy them something. I have to make them have pleasant experiences. Like I want to take them out, you know, and because I think that also the Midas is someone that is like, you know, what I have, I can share it with you. I can share it with you. He's not someone that he would like hide his partner and would be like, no, 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 like you know, let's go out separately. No, he's like, come with me. Like what is mine is yours. Like take it. Just very selfless. Just very selfless, like this. Very relaxed. I think that he just is not. He probably wants to be in a relationship just to be comfortable with the person that he's with, but I don't see him changing that much, you know, changing his character or just like being like, oh, I have to be like this. No, he's like, you know, as long as we make each other feel good, you know, this is what I want. And with the distractor, I think that definitely the distractor, the archetype, I think that definitely he wants to be different. And he wants to stop destroying the things that he loves. In this case, I think that he will not do anything to harm the situation, but definitely he understands that he has the potential, or he had the potential in the past, of destroying very meaningful relationships or connections or friendships out of a whim. You know, maybe he got mad at someone and he got connections. You know, it seems like when he ends things, it's like you're dead for him. You know, he's dead fatalist, I would say. You know, dead you know, dead cutting. He's like, okay, like I don't know you. Like if we don't hang out anymore, like I don't know who you are. Bye. But I think that here with the distractor, there's an evolution in his character, and he's like, I want to learn to be less destructive in my connection. Like I want to, actually what he wants to destroy is his old patterns of maybe sabotaging himself and others in the connection. He definitely is like, you know, he sort of wants to like purge himself, or just like rebuild himself. You know, it's like, I don't want to be this chaotic anymore. I don't want to hurt the people that I love. I want to build, not destroy. But definitely with the distractor archetype, he recognizes that he's just a strong force. When he enters in someone's life, he just changes the life of the person. And he, from time to time, is like sometimes he struggles a bit with self-esteem. So maybe on purpose, he can be a bit self-destructive, you know, like, okay, like I'm not worthy of your time, you know, I'm not feeling my best, I'm not feeling that confident, so why are you dating me if I'm not that special, I'm not that perfect, I'm not the best boyfriend, like why are you still with me? Like it's sort of like, you know, wanting to push you to the end, so you will be like, oh yeah, okay, let's break up because you're awful. And actually I think that what he wants the most is for the relationship to survive and for the person to not leave him, even though he can try from time to time to not sabotage, but he can be a bit explosive. You know, his character can be a bit like when he gets hurt or when he gets offended, he maybe says or does things that you're like, you know, you're not helping us. They are actually making things worse. He probably also doesn't have much patience, you know, and he has to learn to communicate better in relationships, definitely, because he's like this volcano. He accumulates things inside himself. He doesn't express them, and then poof. So yeah. Okay, guys, I'm going to pick up my mate that got broken, that fell on the ground. The herbs are all on the ground, so I have to clean here. Oh my. Yes, it is. He's learning to love himself a bit more. But maybe relationship is the key. Because he has to learn to adapt to another person. So, you know, it's going to keep him humble to build a routine with someone. Because he's like, oh, okay, I cannot be, you know, this detached. I have to take into consideration the other person that lives next to me. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. Thank you so much for being here, and see you on Saturday that I'm going to start reading for some Gemini idols, and if there's another subject to pull cards from, I'm going to read them as well, so see you on Saturday. Bye.